my goodness, it is beautiful. Look at that sky. It's 68 degrees. I'm enjoying a sandwich on the back patio. Charlie is riding tricycle. We're just enjoying a nice spring day and soaking up this sun. I've got about 10 minutes before I've got the last 2 calls of the day, and then I'm officially off for the weekend.
Hi, friends.
Enjoying yourself?
Yeah. Do you want to see me?
Definitely need to mow the lawn. It grew like overnight practically when it started getting a little bit of sunny with so much rain. Okay, since I have 3.5 hours left in the book and book club isn't officially 2 hours, Course Hero is the YouTube channel I was talking about. I'm going to catch up on a good bit of the kind of remaining chapters and then maybe listen to the last hour or something like that on a nice long walk. So I'm gonna catch up on Course Hero, fill in the gap, and then I'll listen to the actual end of the book. Also, I am so loving this glorious weather. It's cooled down a little bit right now, but at one point it was 68 degrees. I drove home from the gym with the window down, blasting Middlemarch, rock on. So loving it. Like, as a Californian, it is not normal to like cherish a sunny day because we have a lot of sunny days, but we haven't had a lot of sunny days lately. And so the silver lining there is with all this rain is that we really get to soak it up and just really enjoy the pleasure of a sunny day.
Like the perfect spiral. Sure, a little bit.
Look how handsome his haircut is. Mommy did a good job. Thought I found a new bookstore. Well, I did find a new bookstore. It's just all in Russian, so that's not gonna help me out much. I am looking for a Willa Cather book. Ooh, The Death of Something. I can't think of it because it's in my text messages, but it's gonna be one of our, we're gonna do Oh Pioneers and The Death of Somebody for our next book club by Willa Cather. Just went into Boomerang Books, Japanese and English books. Easily the most organized used bookstore I have ever been to. Super clean, easy to find stuff, just like, oh, so good. So I ended up with, I couldn't, they did have some Willa Cather, but not the one that I was looking for. I got 4 MC Beaton Hamish Macbeth books, just because I was there, basically. The first one is Death of a Gossip. So I think I've got the first 3 and then a random one that looks like a brand new copy. Then I got, just because it's a really good edition and I've never read it, The House on Mango Street by Sandra Cisneros, and the Penderwicks, also never read, National Book Award winner, and kind of middle grade March is still on my mind. So the bookstore, the used bookstore I normally go to is the Bookworm. It's right by my house, but I think they closed. I think they closed about 20 minutes ago and I wasn't gonna be able to make it there in time, but super glad to know this one is here because they had a lot of really good stuff, including a lot of good classics, good amount, just really good selection and just so nicely organized. So I complimented the guy and he gave me this little origami bunny. How cute is that? It's Saturday evening. It is a beautiful spring evening. It's like 60 something degrees outside. I walked over to the park to about 1.25 miles maybe walk from my house. Watched a couple innings of Little League baseball and now I'm gonna head home and get on with some laundry. I really want to vacuum the living room and then sit down and read. The goal is to finish Wild Oak tonight. Wanted to finish it yesterday, but the kids spent the night and I had book club and all that kind of stuff. So that didn't end up happening. Wild Oak will be finished tonight, and maybe I will start something new. Oh, I already have started something new. I'm listening to the audiobook of O Pioneers by Willa Cather. So I had read this, I think even just last year, maybe like last summer, but we're doing it for book club. So I figured I'll at least listen to the audiobook. And then the other book of hers, because they're both like 250 page books. Death Comes to the Archbishop, I think it is. And I haven't got my hands on a copy of that yet. I would like to read it in physical form. So we'll see. I'm pretty sure that my regular used bookstore has a copy of it. I just wasn't gonna make it there in time. So maybe that'll be part of my Monday special day to go to the used bookstore. All right, so I needed a bit of an extra day to finish it off, but I finished Wild Oak by C.C. Harrington for middle grade March and absolutely love this. It was just such a sweet story, definitely a challenge. We do the two major kind of, oh my goodness, licking. The two major kind of issues that are addressed in this book are stuttering, as Maggie has a stutter, and deforestation, as the wild oak itself is under great threat of, oh my gosh, my dog is licking me. I just washed my face and moisturized, and so I put the extra moisturizer like off from my hands on my arms, and my dog is trying to remove it. Anyhow, the wild oak itself is under threat of being deforested. That's the area where Maggie meets Rumpus, our leopard cub friend, and so that's a big part of the book. The part about the stuttering I thought was cool, but there's one little element of it that kept bugging me, and that's that. So I used to be a speech therapist. I never actually I never treated anybody with a fluency issue, but the one thing that was bugging me was that it's very rare that when someone stutters, it's very rare that they stutter on the middle of a word. So let's say the word is vacuum. If you're going to stutter, it's likely going to be on the V, not on the C. And she had a lot of middle of the word disfluencies, and so every time it happened, I was like, is that really? But so that was like the only little thing. But there's at the end of the book, there's some good author's note information on reforestation efforts all over the world, on the sale of big cats and conservation efforts today, and on stuttering and where we are today. So other than that little like thing on the specific thing on the fluency issue, I thought that the stuttering was handled really, really well. The things that it's not, the things that it is, the things that helped her, the things that were just made things worse, and the struggles that she experienced with it. I thought that was done really, really well. And this is clearly somebody who knew about stuttering. So I'd be interested to know like what is her experience with stuttering. But it says Reed likes Pam Munoz Ryan says reads like a classic. I loved it, and I agree. This is something I would definitely recommend to really anybody, to kids, to adults, to anyone in between. So to wrap up middle grade March, I read Wild Oak and Amari and the Night Brothers, as well as Amari and the Night Game. I keep saying that. Amari and the Great Game. I read Amari and the Night Brothers by audiobook. I originally had read a library copy, so I don't have a physical copy of it. I would have to say, as much as I enjoy Amari, I think I enjoy like my page-to-page enjoyment was better with Wild Oak, because it was just such a sweet story, and I just felt like it felt like a warm hug of a book going back and forth between Maggie and Rumpus, our leopard cub. But Amari and the Great Game was I think I enjoyed better than Amari and the Night Brothers, because we kind of jumped right into the action and there was no setup for it. So super fun. And there was like a mystery element in this one, which was really fun. So that was my middle grade March. And then I finished middle March. I barely finished middle March in time for book club, and we had such a great discussion. It was really fun. I'm in 2 book clubs, and we actually discuss the books in my book club, which I hear is not a thing. We do drink a bit, but we actually do discuss the book. Also, do you match your bookmark to your book? I do if I can. I had a rough start with Middlemarch, but ultimately ended up absolutely loving it. There are different books. It's 8 books worth, and we have 4 different storylines. In the first storyline, when I first started listening to it on audiobook, I was like into it. I had no problem like understanding what was going on. And then when we switched over characters, like storylines, I was like, what? Who the hell is Mary? I didn't know what was going on. That's when I decided I need to go to the physical book, or at least do the tandem audiobook, physical reading. That helped me get into it and understand who these new characters were. And then I probably read 95% of the book via audiobook. But that little tandem reading part kind of helped me get into it and get into the language and the new characters. And then it wasn't until this older character, this isn't like a major spoiler here or anything like that. It's an old character who is like on the periphery. This older character dies, and the reading of the will and the drama that creates, that was the part that really got me interested in the other storylines. And then just as the story developed from there, I was into it, and the different relationships, budding relationships, marriages, that kind of stuff, really interesting. The Lydgates, oh my gosh, Rosamund, just like worst person ever. If you know what I'm talking about, you know. If you know, you know. So anyway, one thing that we were talking about one thing we were talking about at book club was that we're already looking forward to the reread of this, knowing where the story ends up, knowing who all the characters are from the beginning and why they matter. Going back and rereading it, I think, will be such a treat. I'm gonna do this wrap-up style. So this was my reading month, plus a couple others. I don't know, I probably listened to another audiobook that I can't think of right now as well. Thank you for watching. Remember, every day is a great day for a great day, all day.